Hello everyone, welcome back for another monster media haul from the Goodwill bargain bins this morning. A few odds and ends of getting into these stacks and stacks of DVDs and Blu-rays, tons of VHS, some really cool books, music, everything today. So a whole bunch of stuff, just a few Disney Infinity figures that were kind of hanging out there. One Amiibo. Then for the Blu-rays, we have Catching Fire, Brick Mansions, Fast and Furious 6, Pan, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, Snow White and the Huntsman, first of the Expendables movies, Ice Age Continental Drift, and the Divergent series Allegiant. Now a bunch of sealed Blu-rays, actually like sealed DVDs, multiple stacks. This stand-up comedian Chanda Pierce, never heard of her before, but multiple stand-up routines from her, sealed on DVD. The Proposal, it's a great movie. Winter's Bone, a Western double feature. Some Tracy Anderson workouts. Elizabethtown, A Diamond from Donegal, documentary about the town of Elizabethtown. I found two sealed copies of that randomly. The Hangover, 300, Rise of an Empire. A League of Their Own, this is a great movie as well. Part of the Superbook Explorer series. Jesus and His Times. Rockin' with Roseanne. This is bizarre. Calling All Kids. It looks like a kids puppet show with Roseanne Barr. Weird. Never heard of that one before. Grumpier Old Men. I always thought this sequel was superior. They're both great movies, but I always really preferred Grumpier Old Men. Jesus. Hachi, A Dog's Tale. This is a remake of a really good Japanese movie. It's not very good. Tropic Thunder. Joseph and His Brethren, The Appointment, Roadhouse, Patrick Swayze, Raising Arizona, Wonder Woman, Alexander, Operation Stormbreaker, and a few seasons of shows. We had The Big Bang Theory, the complete 3rd and 6th season, Tudors, Season 2, and sealed copy of the final season. We have one season of ER, Season 4, some Smallville, Season 4 of that as well, and continuing on with stacks upon stacks of DVDs, we have Man on Fire, Black Cloud, 30 Days of Night, Martha, Marcy, May, Arlene, I have no idea what that is, Watchmen, Director's Cut, the 2-disc edition, Monsters Ball, Helen Mirren, Prime Suspect, Series 5. I think I found another one of those in here as well. The End of Violence. Second in Command, some Jean-Claude Van Damme. The King's Speech. Armageddon. The remake of The Lady Killers. Some Cirque du Soleil. Tomb Raider. Another copy of the remake of The Lady Killers. Rent. Bone Collector. Southpaw, XXX State of the Union, Ken Davies Fully Alive, some Howdy Doody, there we go, another one of these, Series 6 of that Prime Suspect, Hyde Park on Hudson, State Fair, the 2-disc anniversary edition, lots of good extras in that one. Say The Lost Treasure of Sawtooth Island, Prairie Fever, looks like a Western with Kevin Sorbo. I always love this classic cover from the Universal Studios Classic Monster Collection, The Mummy. This is a classic cover. They used to use this one a lot, especially on the VHS and Laserdisc releases. A bunch of good covers over the years, but this one is a cover that I've always really liked. Zuzu Pets, Quest for Zoo. I can't believe there's a Zuzu Pets movie. Suicide Squad, Beautiful Creatures, My Scene, Masquerade Madness, Frantic, it's a really good Harrison Ford movie, really like that one. The New World, First Landing, Always Will, Beyond the Sea, Three Stooges Cartoon Collection, The Hope, Jeepers Creepers 2, part of the Def Comedy Jam series of releases, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, some Jeff Dunham, Cartoon Craze, Igor, Point of No Return. This is Shimmer and Shine, Magical Pets, The Right Stuff, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, 4 Movies with Soul collection, Ghostbusters, the whatever year this came out, Answer the Call, the girl one, Dragon Drive, New Journey, so one of the volumes of that anime series, some more Jeff Dunham, Unconquered, 30 Days of Night, one of the Mythbuster collections, the mediocre remake of Pete's Dragon, that kind of CG live-action mix one, 2 Weeks Notice, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader, the DVD game, so one of those ones you can actually play on your DVD player, Superman Returns, Joy, Daniel Steele, Fine Things, another sealed one in there, License to Kill, TV's Funniest Comedians, Crypto the Superdog, a red carpet double feature with You Can't Hurry Love and Love Hurts, Contender, for the American Girl series, Sahara, Gladiator, another Gladiator, The Painted Hills, the original Lady Killers, Alec Guinness and Peter Sellers one, Grizzly Falls, it's kind of a funny story, Basic, Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Some Like It Hot, Shoot 'Em Up, Home for the Holidays, A Passage to India, Have a Little Faith, part of the Hallmark Hall of Fame collection, Scenic Cruises of the World, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Christmas in South Africa, The Patriot, Mel Gibson, films and music inspired by the story, another sealed one here with Independence Day, From Dusk Till Dawn, a Morgan Freeman 4-film collection, The Cross and the Switchblade, 4 Feathers, Town and Country, Remember the Titans, For Greater Glory, Nim's Island, The Longest Yard, Persuasion, a Charles Bronson 2-movie collection, Straw Dogs, Prairie Home Companion, Enchanted, Saturday Night Fever, 50 First Dates, a Gary Cooper classic movie collection, The Way We Were, Good Luck Chuck, Dreamcatcher. This is really good, from one of the Star Wars sets on DVD. It's a bonus materials disc. It actually has this Go Behind the Saga. Lots of really good documentaries, kind of behind the scenes stuff. It's about, what is it, like 3 or 4 hours worth of stuff. I have this in my collection. Just kind of a good set for people who are, if you're missing that or want to add it to your DVD collection for Star Wars, Where the Red Fern Grows. One of the 4 film favorites sets. This is the first 4 Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Black Snake Moan, The Ghost of Mr. Chicken, Life of the Party, RV, Down to Earth, 1000 Singin' Slugs, Stephen King's Storm of the Century, Music and Lyrics, Marvel, A Next Avengers Heroes of Tomorrow, Two Brothers, The Simpsons Christmas is a really good compilation. I have that in our collection as well. Triple X, Red, The Science of Sleep, Buster and Chauncey's Silent Night, another Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, In the Mix, Starsky and Hutch, and The Legend of Korra, Book 4, Balance. That's it for DVDs and Blu-rays. It's just one category. We're not even halfway through everything. One that kind of goes to those is one of the Video Now releases. You really don't see these anymore. It was this little player on the back here. I actually have one. The original one was black and white, and there's a color one. The black and white one was definitely the one that was more prevalent. Didn't last very long, but it was movies and TV shows on a little kind of GameCube-sized mini disc. Not to be confused with the mini DVD format. That was a different format, and that was actually a DVD. Full movies and multiple episodes. These usually were 1 or 2, maybe 3 episodes max in really low quality for this little portable video player before it really had any kind of streaming. At the time, it was more, the portable DVD player was a bit bulkier and more expensive. This is more geared towards kids, but it would be something where you pick this up and it has one 22-minute episode in black and white of Beyblade. Just it feels like such a ripoff now, but back then for a kid it'd be kind of cool. It's a weird thing. You just don't really see that very often. So getting into VHS, we have a PBS documentary. We have The Man, the Poet, the Legacy, John Muir. A video collector's classic of Yosemite, first 100 years. Summer Magic, great classic with Haley Mills. I love these MGM, larger cases, and I always hope that they're a beta when I see them randomly, but we have Cat on Hot Tin Roof. And we have Children of the Corn. The animated Christmas special, Silent Night. A few Sinbad tapes. We have the 7th Voyage of Sinbad. Sinbad the Sailor, the one with Douglas Fairbanks Jr. Barney, Walk Around the Block with Barney. Worth Winning. Love with a Proper Stranger. Lolita, the one with Jeremy Irons. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. The Stone Killer. Short Circuit 2. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Best of Seinfeld, the 100th episode. Frog is a kind of weird classic children's tale with Shelley Duvall. Weird one that I don't think was ever released on anything besides VHS, just off the top of my head. One of the volumes of the original Lost in Space. Cactus Flower. Pillow Talk. And Disney Junior's Dora the Explorer, Fairy Tale Adventure. And this cool postcard set of Dutch painters. There's like a complete set in there, interesting artwork. One set of a bunch of different My Weird School, whole collection of those for kids' books. Benvenuto. Great Gatsby. The Story of Flight. This is probably my favorite one. The Visit to a Haunted House, a Hallmark pop-up book. This is a vintage pop-up, and it's really cool, and it's in fantastic shape. Went through, and all the pop-ups are in good condition, which is the part that usually there's issues and they get torn. But yeah, that was a really cool find for just like a few pennies. I thought that was awesome. We have a Badass. This is a nice edition of The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, a fully illustrated set. Really nice one. This X-Men Red Skull. I've never see the Chaos Engine Trilogy Book 3. Never heard of this one before, but it's an actual novelization. It's not like a comic collection. It's kind of cool. I've never seen that one before. The artwork with Psylocke and Storm and Red Skull and stuff was what kind of attracted me looking there in the bins. 1895 to 1930, The Wonderful World of Automobiles. This is really cool to flip through if you're interested in history or cars, or just kind of a fascinating one that I actually want to look through a little bit. Then we have Party on Spooky Street. This is another pop-up book. And just a ton of kids' books from every imaginable series, just a ton of different ones. Always great to find good variety of those. A 4-book collection, a bunch of classics, Scarlet Letter, Moby Dick, Red Badge of Courage. Really nice to find those sometimes. Those can be great for people looking for just a collection of a lot of classic books. Stephen King, Nightmares and Dreamscapes. Night of the Vampires. The Thornbirds. Against the Loveless World. The Case of the Elevator Duck. It's a weird one. The Ghost on Saturday Night. Poem Stew. Song of the Meadowlark. Men Out of Uniform, something very different. Catching Fire. The Prophet, Teachers from the Black Lagoon story collection, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Part of the Cornerstones of Freedom book series, we have the story of the Gettysburg Address, the story of the Star-Spangled Banner, and the story of the Constitution. I think as a set, these will do better right around here, like July 4th and the 250 celebration. So those are ones I probably wouldn't normally pick up, but I feel like timing-wise. And then we have the Golden Book of Storytime Tales, 40 different tales, and this is a really big kind of coffee table book of the life and times of Charlie Chaplin. Or the series of unfortunate events, some Junie B. Jones, just about every, again, more series of kids' books. Handful of older copies of some classics. We have The Prince and the Pauper, Masters of Deceit, My Name is Sappho, Christmas Carol, Joseph Conrad's Lord Jim, In Search of Noah's Ark, The Little House Without a Christmas Tree, The Very Virile Viking, Star Wars New Jedi Order, Agents of Chaos, I've read that one before a long time ago, Star Wars Trilogy, novelization of the original trilogy, some Dune, Robinson Crusoe, The Deerslayer. Now getting into a ton of music CDs and music cassettes, we have A Celtic Tale. It's a really nice, basically, it's open but it seems brand new, the Nat King Cole Triple Treasures Collection. It's really shimmery. It's going to be hard to take pictures of some of those, but it's really nice set. The CDs all look pristine. Frank Sinatra, Young at Heart. The soundtrack to Disney's Tarzan. And then we have, this is a bunch of these kind of related, 13th and 14th century English chants. Love's Illusion, music from the 13th century collection. And this is another one, 11,000 Virgins, chants for the feast of St. Ursula. And a lot of these are sealed too. A lot of this, actually like 2/3 of the CDs are sealed as well to this day. The Main Ingredient, Shirley Horn. The Essential Walt Whitman collection. It's kind of cool, it'll be interesting to listen to. Say The Holiday Sounds of Manhattan Strings. Roger Williams, America's Best-Selling Pianist. The Best of Cusco, I've never heard of this one before. James Galway, Song of the Seashore. Morton Gould, An American Salute. And Rosemary Clooney, For the Duration. Then for cassettes, we have this Victoria's Secret collection. This is the Classics by Request. It's a whole like nice little gift box set. It's kind of probably the coolest thing we found as far as the cassette tapes. And a nice little stack here. We have the soundtrack to Runaway Bride. And for the boys, some Bette Midler, Trisha Yearwood, Home for the Holidays. My mom used to listen to that all the time. We have Elton John, Greatest Hits, 76 to 86. Blue Danube, another one of these Classics by Request, one of the, like an extra volume of those. Vixen, Paul Young, Slaughter, The Escape Club, some Joe Cocker, Diner, original motion picture soundtrack. I was good to find soundtracks. Tanya Tucker, Can't Run From Yourself. This one, we have Robert, I've never heard of this one before, as a parental advisory. It's always kind of a good sign, though. It usually sells better. But Robert Schimmel, Comes Clean. Robert Schimmel Comes Clean. Is this a comedy? Yeah, it's definitely a stand-up comedy. The Time, Pandemonium. The Eagles. Another soundtrack for the love of the game. A classic cassette here, drives me insane. I absolutely hated this. But we have the Chipmunks of Christmas. I just found their voices very annoying, but that was one that was every single year around Christmas time you'd hear. We have Ally McBeal, some Barbra Streisand Christmas album, and soundtrack to Notting Hill. So that's really good too. Julia Roberts romantic comedy soundtracks. Those go well together. So yeah, we're finally done. This is a really good haul, just like huge, and I couldn't believe it. My wife was with me, and it was just a little bit of everything that we like ourselves, the things that sell well in all the different stores. It was just fantastic, and we were there for maybe an hour and a half and spent less than $50 on everything this entire video. So for an hour and a half, that was great. It was a fantastic Saturday, and hopefully this summer I'm going to be going back there a lot. And if you follow the channel, like literally for it's over a decade now, I've gone back every year to the big annual book sale. So that's coming up this month as well. 3 days of that. So if you like this kind of stuff, there's just exploring different forms of media and seeing all the cool stuff that's out there and maybe things you didn't know existed. Make sure you keep checking back because there's going to be a lot of this kind of stuff this summer.